Hey, you guys, welcome back to another episode. Today I want to talk about learning the difference between, what's truly for you, what's truly given to you by God, and what's not. I feel like as humans, we naturally want to control things and force things, and then there's things in life that happens, and we're like, well, I can't control that. You just put so much effort in trying to control the outcome of the situation, and you still end up back at square one. And what I've learned over the course of these last few years, and just, still learning honestly to this day, is that anything that is forced or that feels forced is not a true blessing or the true will of God. And so when you keep trying to, it's like insanity. When you keep trying to do the same thing or work at something constantly, but it's draining your energy, and you're exhausted, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, and you're just unable to get to that point that you're wanting to get to so bad, it's because it's not meant for you to get to that point yet. And you have to sit back and allow supernatural forces to work at hand for you. And honestly, when something is truly for you, you'll know it, because you won't have to put much effort in to see the blessing or to see the result. It'll happen. And that's because it was for you. It was God's plan. It was God's pleasures to bless you, or for whatever to take course. Another example that I have of that is, I remember when I was purchasing my car, and, I was living in LA, super expensive place to live, working. I wasn't making minimum wage, but I wasn't making, a six-figure income either. I'm a single mom, and I was living in a studio, and I was working in West LA, and I lived in a studio in Hawthorne, California. So if anybody's familiar with the Southern California area, that's California is crazy. The traffic is crazy. West LA is actually not far mile-wise from Hawthorne, but the traffic is ridiculous. It'll make you think everything's far. But anyways, so this was back in 2019. I was purchasing my current car that I have now, actually. And I was on the bus. I was on a bus for a while, bus and train for a while, with my son, traveling to and from everywhere we needed to go. And I honestly had a car, and it got repossessed. And so I had to go without a car for a few months, and just buckle down and take public transportation, which, looking back, honestly, I was so glad that I lived in LA at the time that happened, because LA's public transportation is a yes for me. Like, they're currently expanding their public transportation, but I just thank God that it was, convenient enough that I could truly get just about anywhere in Southern California if I needed to. So I'm very thankful at the time that when that happened, that low point happened for me, that it was still a way for me to get to and from work and do what I needed to do. May not have been the ideal way, but it was a way. And I'm also thankful that coronavirus was not a thing just yet as well. But so I was on the public transportation for a few months with my son, getting back and forth to work. And, I had got a new job working down in West LA, and I was working at that job for probably about 6 months, until I was like, okay, I need to get a vehicle. This is starting to get ridiculous. Traveling on public transportation, it was just not as ideal. It was still possible, but just not as ideal. So, I just prayed. I was like, I took $500, you guys, $500. And I went to Hertz car rent. It was a car buying, but it's Hertz. I don't know if anybody has ever heard of Hertz. It's a car rental place, but some locations also offer car purchasing. They're used cars that were once used for the rental business that are now being sold. And so I had in mind, I was like, okay, I'm going to take $500 for a down payment and I'm going to go get a car. And if it's meant for me to get a car, Father God, you're going to bless me to get this car. It's not going to be a hassle. I'm not going to be stressed. Everything's going to go the way it needs to go. So I got paid that next day, Saturday. I went and took the bus to the nearest Hertz location, to my house, with my son and his car seat in tow. And I went into the Hertz car dealership, and I had kind of had in mind what car I was going to get. And I basically found the car for the price range that I figured that I could afford, basically, with the down payment that I was putting down. And I mean, about 5 to 6 hours later, I was driving off the lot with the car. And it's like, when I look back on that was one of those moments where it wasn't much strain. I was able to get a vehicle with $500 down. And now, remind you, earlier I mentioned that I had a repossession. So the repossession wasn't exactly on my credit just yet. It was through a third-party company. It's this app called Fair. Some of you guys might know about it. Some of you guys might not know about it. But basically, they kind of like long-term lease cars. And you just pay every month like you're paying a car note. And then if you feel like you can't afford it anymore, you can either return the car back. However, I was calling myself trying to stay on top of it so that I didn't have to return the car back. But that's just a long story short. I didn't make the best decision, and they ended up having to take the car from me. So, yeah. So that is how I was able to still get a car. But honestly, guys, it's just a testament to show you that no matter what the situation is, if it's a blessing or something that God truly has for you, you're going to get it. You're going to have it. It's going to happen no matter what, because that's in his plans. That's in his will. And I love watching Latoya Okia, because she says it all the time. She said, it is your Father's good pleasures to bless you. He wants to bless us. He enjoys blessing us in all aspects, not just materialistic, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, relationship wise, whatever it is. And if you have to force any of those things, you got to take a step back and sit and rest and ask yourself and ask God too, is this really from you, God? Because if it was, would I have to exalt myself or exalt my resources or my love or whatever it is for it to be present in this moment? And the answer is no, because what's for you will come to you. It will be blessed and given to you. There are some things you will have to put effort in and work towards, but it should never take all of you and everything out of you. And so I just want to leave y'all with that, to say, reflect and make sure that whatever it is that you're currently working towards, or who you're currently with, or whatever the situation may be, if you're overexerting yourself, exhausting yourself mentally, spiritually, emotionally, trying to force something that you feel like you're not getting the result that you truly desire, then you have to take a step back from yourself and just evaluate and say, if it's forced, is it truly for me? Because I guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, it's not. and or it's not for you at that time. So you got to be willing to just let it go and trust God and trust that if it's for you, it'll come to you. And it truly, truly will, you guys. And I just want to leave y'all with that because it was dropped on my spirit to talk about it. And I got the inspiration as well from some people that I follow on IG that are also believers. And I just wanted to put my own testament to it because, like I said, I've dealt with some situations as well. And currently that I had to take a step back and realize, like, if I'm forcing it, if I'm trying to control it, then I need to take a step back and assess and allow God to show me that if it's for me, it's for me, and that it'll come to me. But also, if it's not for me, then I don't need it. I don't need it. I don't need to receive it because there's a reason why. And so I just wanted to leave y'all with that. But I'm currently recording this as I'm laying down in my bed. You guys, it's crazy. I'm laying down in my bed. It is a Thursday morning, and I had a situation yesterday that I have to take care of, and I'm just trying to pray over myself and all the above, and pray for others around me and everything. You guys, it's crazy. Always pray, you guys. Never cease to pray and give thanks to your Father, to your Creator. And I'm gonna go ahead and get off this thing because I'm about to just do exactly what I told y'all. Take a step back, relax, reflect, rest, and trust in God. Thank you so much, y'all. Until next episode, be blessed, prayed up, and stayed up. Because this is my truth, your truth, and the truth.